All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And I give double honors to the apostles of great mercy and do rule well. Salutations to the men of the Hope Land Sensei elect. This is Brother Marcus from the Trinidad camp. Just want to do a little edification for the elect's sake. And the name of this lesson would be time and patience. And the reason why I'm calling it time and patience basically is because, the Lord gave us time, and alongside time, you have to have patience. All right? The time is that He have us here waiting until the coming of His Son, Yahweh Shai. And as the scripture says, no man knows the day or the hour, means that we have to have patience. We have to wait. We have to wait for the appearing of Yahweh Shai. All right? As the scripture says, the sign of the Son of Man, we have to wait. All right, and a lot of times you see men falling out. The truth is because they lost that patience, so they can't wait. All right, they can't wait. They lose hope, and basically they go back into the world. They go back into a world where they could actually have the things that existed now, and not waiting for the things that come after. All right, because the scripture says the things that are now, they are temporal. All right, and the world and all these things gonna be burnt up. So then you should wait for the coming of the Lord. But a lot of people, they can't wait. They rather deal with now. All right? And we have to remember that we went off from serving the Lord. So therefore, waiting is just a simple task given unto us to show our faith unto the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, to show that we desire to come back. All right? This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 36 and 16. Reward them that wait for thee, and let thy prophets be found faithful. And how thy prophets going to be found faithful? Because we always out here prophesying and heralding the coming of the Lord. All right, when the street corners, we're doing videos, we for years, beginning with the apostles, all the way down to the lesser of us, we out here, we prophesying, we speaking about the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. We're speaking about World War III. All right, we're speaking about the famines that will come and the destruction and the glory that going to follow. All right, so His prophets are gonna be found faithful, because the things that we prophesy through His Spirit, they are gonna come to pass. And as the scripture says, glorify thy Son, that thy Son may glorify thee. And guess what? The Lord glorifying us so that we could even glorify Him, because He put His word and His testimony in our mouths, so that when we speak, they will glorify the Lord in the day of visitation, pursuant to 1 Peter 2 and 12. All right, they're going to glorify the Lord in that time. All right, but He says, reward them that wait for thee. So the only time you're going to be rewarded is if you wait, if you with patience wait until the coming of the Lord. Because time and patience goes hand in hand. If the Lord gave us time where we don't know the exact time, guess what? All you could do is have patience and wait until the Lord comes. All right? This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So the ones that understand this, they're going to run out and they're going to prophesy, because they see that the time is at hand. All right, as the scripture said, lift up thy voice like a trumpet and show my people their transgressions. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Time and patience, this is for an appointed time. It is not for the time that you appointed. It is for the time that Yahweh, the Most High, appointed in His own will and His own pleasure. All right? So therefore, all you could do is wait and have patience. All right? Going on, it says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. All right? His prophets are going to be found faithful. It says, do it tarry. All right? Do it look like it taking long. Wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. It will surely come. And this is the hope. The scripture says this hope has his servants, and here is the patience and faith of the saints, because they have faith in the Lord's word, that the things that was spoken of, they're gonna come to pass. All right. See if I could find this precept here real quick. This is Hebrews chapter 11 and 13. And this talking about the fathers. It says, these all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them. So they saw the promises afar off and was persuaded that we're going to be delivered. And we have to have that same persuasion, being even more closer to the promises than our forefathers. All right? And embrace them and confess that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. All right? So just like our forefathers saw the promises afar off and believe, we also have to believe, being even closer to the promises than they. All right? But a lot of men, they don't have patience. They don't have that faith in the Lord to wait. All right? They come into the truth. They hear about the promises and the glory to come, but they want it now. All right? So yeah, you want it. We all want it. But guess what? You have to wait. You have to wait for it. All right? You have to wait for it. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 4. This is what it's saying. After verse 3, it says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking in their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. So they said, hey, all things continue as they were from since the beginning. These men, they lack the patience. They lack that faith to wait. All right? And going down, Peter says what? He says, for this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Yahweh the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that was then being overflowed with water perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire, unto the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. It says, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Father as 1,000 years, and 1,000 as one day. All right? So basically, the Lord time different from our time. All right? So by you saying that, the scriptures, in Ezekiel 12, I believe it's 25, it says, the proverb that says that the days, it is not now, the days are far off. The Lord said, in your days, these things will not happen. All right? In your days, they're not seeing the signs. They're not seeing the signs. They're not seeing the tokens of the Lord, that we are in this time. So all you have to do is have patience. Time and patience goes hand in hand. Remember that time and patience goes hand in hand. You have to have time. When you have time, when the Lord gives you a time, you have to have patience and wait for him. You have to wait on his time. All right? You have to wait on his time. A lot of people, especially women, like to talk and say that, they don't wait. They don't have patience. They can't. Nah. Guess what? That is why the Lord chose men. All right? That is why the Lord chose men. All right? This is 1 John chapter 2 and verse 19. It says, they went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. So if you had continued with us, then you would have been with us. A lot of men, they leave. They leave on their own accord. Sometimes they want to leave, but they don't have the integrity to, so they wait until someone does something to say, well, this brother offended me, so this is why I left. All right, cool, you left. Really and truly, you didn't have the patience and you didn't have the kahunas to endure in the faith. All right? To endure in the faith. And a lot of times they say, well, you left the truth. You didn't leave Yahweh Shai. Guess what? The only time you could serve the Lord is by doing his work. And if you're not doing his work, then you left the Lord. All right? They would have no doubt continued with us, but they went out, that they might be manifest that they were not all of us. Many are called, but few are chosen. All right? Didn't the Lord say he cast in the net and brought in both good and bad? The only time you could serve the Lord is by doing his work. You can't serve the Lord without serving the Lord. Remember that. You cannot serve the Lord without serving the Lord. And serving, it means you have to be pushing this word. You have to be in this house. All right? And I want to bring this guess what? This is the book of Exodus. All right? The incident with the Passover. All right? To prove that the only time you could escape the destruction is by remaining in this truth. Exodus 12:22, it says, and ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin, and none of you shall go out at the door of his house until morning. All right? None of you shall go out of the door. All right? This is Isaiah chapter 26:20. It says, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast. So if you leave this truth, as the scripture said, the name of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous run into it and are safe. If you leave this truth, you have no protection. You have no protection from the destruction. All right? You have no protection from the destruction. You have to stay in this truth. If you leave this truth, you're as good as dead. Speaking to both men and women. All right? Both men and women. You have to stay in this truth. All right? Don't let pride say, well, you know what? I don't have to be in GMS, so I could just go and I would just do my own thing. I would just keep my head covered, or keep my beard on my face, and you know, nah, it don't happen that way. Because guess what? When you leave, now you open up yourself to a lot of spirits that are gonna plague your mind. But when you are around the brotherhood, guess what? Those spirits will stand off. Scriptures talk about, you know, the angel of the Lord encampeth himself around them that fear him. All right? Don't let pride, you know, make you leave this truth. All right? Going on, this is Ezekiel 11 and verse 16. It says, therefore say, thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. When you look up the word sanctuary, it means a holy place. The Lord gonna be that little holy place. And you know what about a little holy place? It means it can't hold much. All right? That is why the scripture says there be few that be saved. All right? And if you leave, there ain't no coming back. Somebody just going to take your spot, so you have to hold on to it. Because you may never get it again. All right? You have to hold on to it. Hold on to this truth. All right? Don't leave. Don't depart. All right? You leave this truth, you're as good as dead. All right? You have to have patience. Whether is you've been afflicted, or whether you think that, you know, it just seems like, you know, it just continuing since you came in probably 10, 11, 15 years, and it just continuing as it were. Guess what? You're not seeing because your head is not in this truth. It's underground. Basically, you have to have your head in the clouds. All right? And when I say have your head in the clouds, just look up to where Yahweh Shai said it on the right hand of Yahweh. All right? Take your head out of the ground. Take your head out from between your legs. All right, and focus on the scriptures and what's going on around you, and not to be, as the scripture says, entangled in this present life. And then you will understand the times that we're in. All right, because you have to endure in this little sanctuary to be safe, and don't leave, don't exit, or you will die. All right, as the scripture says, joy cometh in the morning. All right. This is the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 31. It says, then said Yahweh Shai to the Jews which believed on him, if you continue in my word, remember this, if you continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. Only if you continue, you have to continue in this. You can't leave this truth. You have to continue in them. All right? You have to continue in them. This is 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 16. It says, take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, continue in them. Remember this, continue in them. For in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. You have to continue in this. Continue to push. Don't leave. That is the only how you're going to be saved, if you continue, if you have patience and abide with the time. Because though it tarry, it will come. Just remember that. It will come, though it tarry. All right? And this is the final precept here. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 18. It says, and therefore will Yahweh wait, that he may be gracious unto you, and therefore he will be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. For Yahweh is a God of judgment. Blessed are all they that wait for him. Blessed are all they that wait for him. The scripture says, they shall not be ashamed that wait for thee. Blessed are all they that wait for him. All right? For they shall renew their strength. So just wait. Just have patience and wait. All right? Just abide with the time. Just wait. Because the Lord coming to deliver us. And he's faithful that promise. All right? So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemi Shai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of great mercy that do rule well. Salutations to the men of the Hope Land Saints elect. This is Brother Makazar from the Trinidad camp saying Shalom and stay strong. Shalom.